How is the work culture like, sir? RBI in general and for legal in particular. So what's the foreign or international exposure like for legal officers? What do you think, sir, the career looks like? Hello, everyone. Welcome to iExam B. Today we are having a very interesting session with me, and my guest is Dr. Sanjeev Sharma. Thank you, sir, for taking out time and being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always nice to be here.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to iExam B platform, Legal B. Let me give a brief profile about sir. Dr. Sanjeev Sharma has worked as a former Chief General Manager at RBI. He's also served as the Regional Director at RBI and been the Executive Director for NHB, National Housing Bank. There's so much more to his profile. He is a visiting faculty at IIMs like Ahmedabad, Lucknow, ISB, and he's also a mentor and guide at iExam B. My first question to you is, RBI being the central bank of India, has so many functions and departments. So where does the legal department fit in?
Yeah, that's a good question to begin with. RBI has various departments, as you know. We have the financial inclusion, we have the FED, the currency management, and DOS, Department of Supervision, Department of Regulation, etc. Like any other commercial bank, we would be having different departments. However, as a central bank, we are working within the framework of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. So it is very essential to have a legal department within the Reserve Bank to guide and to ensure that there's an overall compliance to these acts, various acts that come into play. There could be FEMA, there could be the DICGC Act, there could be the BR Act, RBI Act, Payments and Settlements, various acts. So it is very important, and each department is dependent on the legal department.
Right. You had mentioned like the commercial banks may have litigation. In RBI, would there be litigation work also?
There's a very famous case of SBI and Sanjay Agarwal, cases where RBI was forced to take a certain action based on the Supreme Court judgment. So yeah, we have cases.
But do the legal officers represent in courts in that case?
No, our legal officers essentially help in, at the lower level, say as a grade B, grade C, AGM level, DGM level, they basically help in drafting in the research. And we have the senior officers also who would then counsel the attorney that we hire, and they represent the RBI in the court.
So I understand when you're saying this, like you mentioned, they provide a lot of effort and work is done with respect to the different acts that RBI works under, and so many policies and regulations that come into place. Is that the reason why drafting is such an important aspect that RBI is looking for in these legal officers?
Absolutely. And it's not just legal all over the Reserve Bank when we take the Grade B exam. Legal more so, because their basic job is to draft, interpret and draft, research. So if you want to join the Reserve Bank as a legal officer, your ability should be good in drafting. That is, your drafting skills should be good, A, and B, your ability to perform research functions, where you could cross-reference, find out, and put up to your seniors the way we do. Because in RBI, everything is based on note. Everything has been formalized.
No wonder there is an English paper also in the RBI officers recruitment process.
Including reading comprehension, because unless you're not able to comprehend the central idea and the theme of what the person is saying, or you are not able to read between the lines sometimes,
yes,
you would make a poor drafter.
Sir, I was going through the website of RBI trying to read about the legal department, and it also mentioned that the legal department extends its legal support to, two entities they have named: Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation and the Center for Advanced Financial Research and Learning. In your opinion, why these two entities have been particularly named, and what kind of legal support would they be?
Yeah, that's an intriguing question that you asked. It does look odd that they have singled out DICGC and CAFRIL, for example, for the purpose of getting legal support from the Reserve Bank. Now, DICGC is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Reserve Bank. Though it functions like a department within the bank, but it has its own setup, and there's a separate executive director for DICGC, and anybody who's transferred to DICGC is more like a deputation within courts. But you are in this; it's the same. However, because the DICGC Act of 1961 is mandated there, whenever the depositor's interests come into play, when RBI has to step in and take care of it, the banks where they have to make payment. In the case of a problem, their legal department would certainly like to support. The SEGC rather would like to take legal help to see that they are not breaching the DICC Act or within the framework of the RBI Act it's been.
Okay. And one more interesting point I noticed, sir, for the legal department especially, the website stated that the department also functions as a secretariat to the appellate authority under the RTI Act. What exactly, in your opinion, that means for the department?
See, whenever we get an RTI application in the bank, essentially it is, if it's a simple application, the question is not very complicated and factual. The department itself is able to provide the answer. Sometimes they will ask questions which we are not too sure. So initially when the RTI started, at that point in time, we were saying no to so many things. People were possessive of the
confidential,
under the confidential act. But then it was decided that no, we would be displaying our list in the public domain on the RBI website, that these are the confidential matters which we will not be able to disclose. The rest we can. Now, that kind of a decision, what is confidential and secret and what is not, what can be told to the public and what can be withheld, that is where legal department helps us a lot. That's one thing. Secondly, when somebody is asking a sensitive question, we are not too sure whether we can answer. It could be in the public domain, bordering that. The department always refer the reply to legal department, saying that this is what we have received, this is our response, please vet it for us.
Sounds very, very interesting and quite a dynamic role to me. But let's bell the cat and come to some questions which may interest the students a little more. What do you think, sir, the career looks like vis-a-vis maybe an advocate?
Well, if you want to be a traditional advocate and you want to file cases and have your own kiosk and then, or be an assist to somebody as you begin law practice, civil or criminal cases, then you can pursue the course of the traditional lawyer. Now, why RBI is asking for 2 years experience? If you want to come to us, then we would like you to have some experience in law, in matters of court, in the formalities that are required. And of course, you would not feel nervous if you were sent to the court, for example. You would know what the court is all about. You're not a layperson. So a person who comes from the law college directly may not have that exposure. It is essential, therefore. Now, officers who do join us, they begin in the usual way, grade B, grade C, D, E, F. So the grade B is, the base level, and the principal advisor, the principal chief advisor, is the grade F. That's where you rise to. Now, remember, this is a specialized department. Now, you have the general side, RBI general side, where you can function in any department of the Reserve Bank. Today, you are in currency. Tomorrow, you could be in foreign exchange or in the Department of Regulation thereafter. Once you join legal department, you will continue to be in the legal department. It is like DEPR and they are specialized departments. So their seniority is also different. Legal department seniority is different. You have to compete within your department's seniority. Of course, it is the pyramid is always narrow at the top. So you have to be very good, to rise to the top. And most people do pretty well. If you are sincere about your work, you get good promotions, B, C, D, E, F.
So the benefits and the perks, do they remain same as any other?
Absolutely the same. The only difference could be perhaps postings, Legal department is not in every center.
Right.
Broadly, the other departments are in all the regional offices. Some departments are not present in smaller centers. Legal department would be present only in the major centers, Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Chennai, Bangalore, Ahmedabad.
That could be a good point also. Not too many transfers, that could mean.
You may get exposure to a regional office. It's always good to get exposure in the regional office. And then, you come to the central office. So, you are the extended arm of the regional.
So
And they get all the facilities, the LTC, the foreign training, and all the other perks that other RBI officers get. Good accommodation, car allowance.
a very good point that you mentioned in between foreign training. So what's the foreign or international exposure like for legal officers, according to you?
Well, honestly, I really wouldn't know. I haven't come across any of my friends from the legal department who told me, but they do go for exposure. So if there is an international conference where they could be presenting a paper, or basically, why do we go abroad? Foreign training is to upskill.
Sounds like overall good in terms of varied profile, work culture. In fact, how is the work culture like, sir, for RBI in general and for legal in particular?
Yes, work culture is good. I think most people talk in terms of, these youngsters who want to join the bank, and they feel the work-life balance, this HR concept of work-life balance has somehow crept in. But honestly, we have to work hard. And when you work hard, you will have to compromise on the work-life balance. So there are days when you are very busy, you're on your toes, especially central office departments. I would say the regional offices are still less stressed. The stress comes from when central office breathes down your neck, saying, I want this tomorrow. Then the regional offices are on their toes, no doubt.
Work-life balance sometimes is misinterpreted.
Yes, yes.
Right interpretation is very important.
And
I'm leaving that to the legal experts. I hope they interpret it right. But yes, working hard doesn't go away in any kind of format. So, last question maybe. A very interesting point again I noticed in RBI's annual report about the future for the legal department. And to quote them, they have mentioned to do a research paper on leveraging of AI for enhancing the legal function in the financial sector. So your thoughts on what this means and what technology and AI can actually do for legal function?
Well, modern banking is all about technology. It's based on technology. The platforms are technology-based. Fintechs, for example. So every time there's a new animal in the market, so the legal implications have to be seen. Now, AI is something which we cannot ignore. Blockchain is something which we cannot ignore. With the digicurrency around, RBI's central banking digital currency, they do require a legal backing. We cannot, independently work on them. Therefore, the role of a legal department would be great in supporting RBI's initiatives in this regard.
So RBI is a very dynamic, forward-looking institute is what I'm taking from it. So legal will also be exciting and dynamic and not just always buried into old laws.
Absolutely. Yes.
And paperwork. So
challenging. Yes, they would have
be challenging. And a lot of new learnings, trainings will always be there to seize if one wants to keep growing.
You're right.
So, gives a good overall perspective, sir, about what this legal function can be like. RBI is recruiting for this position this year also. And I hope the students who are listening, the candidates who are listening to this gives them more clarity. If it comes to your exam level questions or preparation, you'll find loads of videos on our channel for further guidance. And you can always reach out to us for any kind of support that you need overall. And I am so thankful to you, sir, for taking out time and giving so much clarity and in a very, very succinct manner what all legal is all about and how it is so nicely supporting all the different functions of RBI.
Whatever I've said here is based on my understanding of the legal department, the way we have interacted with the legal department. But it's a dynamic department, so it keeps changing. As you rightly said here, the annual report has come out with something new this time. So the perceptions are also based on how we have seen the legal department.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. And thanks again from the entire team of iExam.
Thank you. Thank you for